And welcome to our share event at Business Over Coffee International. We are at the Ridgeway Business Center in East Memphis, in Tennessee. And with us right now we have Elizabeth Rincon, or is it okay if I call you Liz? Because that's what I'm used to.
Yeah, it's actually what I go by.
Okay. And she is going to be our first guest. What we're going to talk about today is whenever the budget isn't there and you have to market yourself, when you can't hire a big firm to come in and do it for you. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. We have a wonderful group of people that we're going to talk about, and Liz was on the radio show yesterday and gave some wonderful insights. At first, I think some people thought, she works political campaigns, so how is that marketing yourself? They do. It's marketing yourself. She's got a lot of information on doing that. But first of all, Liz, thank you so much for being here. And I'm going to give you 2 complimentary tickets to the Southern Women's Show, which is happening next week, March 8th, 9th, and 10th here in Memphis at the Ag Center.
Perfect. Thank you.
Be there at Friday at 5 or Saturday at 5.
Okay.
That's when the Policeman's Fashion Show will be.
Perfect.
Featuring clothes from Joseph A. Bank, and I picked them all out for them.
Oh, fantastic.
They're hot.
Thank you.
So, anyway, so we have Liz Rincon, who is the owner and director of Rincon and Associates, and they do political and fundraising consulting. And that comes from your years and years. Ooh, that sounds weird to me to say years and years for you. She's my son's age. So, of doing that, and you have worked on Representative Steve Cohen's national campaigns.
Yeah.
Have you done did you do any of his state campaigns, or is that before you? It was mostly the national.
You know, doing state and local races is actually my specialty. I've done national campaigns. I worked for Senator Clinton.
Yeah, you worked for Hillary Clinton.
You know, I worked for a nonprofit, a political nonprofit that was a national nonprofit during the 08 campaign. But my specialty is state and local, especially local.
Which is why it falls into a lot of what we're doing and what we're talking about, because I called her, I had a really good friend who was running for office, and he had zero budget.
Yes,
He had zero budget. And I called Liz and I said, please, please, please call up Ivan and give him some advice. And he can't pay you anything other than a hug. Okay. And he still talks about how wonderful the advice that you gave him was. So she is a really good person to have here today. But marketing yourself, how hard is that, and what does it entail whenever you've got to market yourself?
Well, actually, I kind of want to hit on 2 things.
Okay.
The first thing is being a woman and marketing yourself. You know, women in general, especially if you're like me and you're a Southern woman, we are taught to, you know, be more on the background, be reserved, that it's not polite, if you will, to put yourself out there and to be, it's considered more aggressive, or you're not considered ladylike by certain people, whereas men going out and doing it, it is considered aggressive in a positive connotation as opposed to a negative connotation. So I would like to first address being a woman and doing that, and that you should have the self-confidence in yourself. If you really want to go out there and market your business, if you don't have a huge consulting firm or a huge marketing team to come out and help you, you need to go out and do it yourself. As a woman, you need to have the assurance in yourself that you're not being aggressive in a negative connotation, that it's okay to put yourself out there. Stay polite, stay friendly. A smile goes so much further than you think. It really does. Keep your, you know, if you're not confident, if you keep looking down, you can't look at somebody, try to work on it. Work on it in the mirror. Work on it, you know, with a friend or a family member that you trust that can give you some feedback or positive criticism. And as a woman, realize that you're not being a negative. There's words that people use, but I'm not going to use them. If you know what I mean.
We know what they are.
Yes, everybody knows what they are. You can be okay to go out there and smile and be friendly and be feminine. It's okay to be feminine. You don't have to chop off your hair. You don't have to, play that card, or you can. I mean, it depends on how you want to market yourself. That's something I really want to first hit on, is the women aspect of it.
Okay.
Be positive. The second thing is, if you do go out there and you're trying to market yourself, make sure that you are every single day trying to make a contact.
Good.
Every day.
Good idea.
Every single day, make a contact with somebody. And, you know, it could be as simple as, like after this, I'm going to my Lenten series waffle shop, and that's, you know, for me personally, going, you know, for the Lenten series. But, you know, there's people that go to that church are people who work on the commercial appeal. You never know.
Oh, yeah.
Who you know, enjoy their time that are social events for you personally, but always think about, like, okay, who could I talk to today? You never know who you're going to meet, and you never know where that's going to lead. My entire career has literally been based on word of mouth.
Mm-hmm.
If I've done a good job, or I've done right by somebody, they recommend me for something else. And it's been a long time since I've actually applied for a job because of that.
That's when you know you're doing a good job.
Right.
Is whenever it is word of mouth.
And
Keeps you going.
If you make a mistake, own that mistake. Learn from that mistake.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't insult people either. I mean, everybody's going to get on your nerves at some point in time, but you know what? Nobody needs to physically know that. So
Mm-hmm.
always, if you own the mistakes, if somebody doesn't agree with you, okay, try to find a place, a common place, and never ever insult them on Facebook. You'll find that is a very public forum.
Yeah.
So keep it positive for sure.
Yeah, you need to be careful what you do post on Facebook, because
Twitter, all the social media.
I mean, Twitter especially. I mean, how many times do we read, oh, so and so is in trouble again because they tweeted this or they tweeted that, or
Yeah, be careful.
you know, hello. I mean, Steve Cohen just had.
That's
I
true.
thought, seriously, this is a lead story for 3 days.
Well, we did have to take away his Facebook account once. So, yeah, no, I mean, it is very important that, especially if you're out there in the public forum,
Mhm.
that you are constantly aware of who you are and what you are marketing. The social media aspect is a very positive thing for people these
Yes, it
days.
is.
I can, you know, get out a message about a fundraiser, and I've touched 1,000 people in the click of a button. The things, you know, before these social media aspects were so much harder, like a lot more time consuming. But like I said, you've got to use it with respect and use it positively,
Mhm.
and also never ever lose that face-to-face contact either.
We talked about that
Yeah.
yesterday on the radio, how important that face-to-face is. And,
Oh, yeah.
And I've heard since when we had talked, I'd said I couldn't remember which company it was, but it was Yahoo.
Yahoo,
That
yeah.
has just said, no more working at home. Yes, this is a great, wonderful technology, but we realize our employees need to have face-to-face time. And
They
so
do.
they found that is more important than letting them all work at home. So face-to-face, whenever a big company like that says it, it's probably is very true.
If you go out there and you make that face-to-face contact, no matter what your business is, it shows that person that you are interested in what they really have to say, first of all. Second of all, you get a better dialogue going. It's organic. It's not like that, you know, and the texting and the tweeting and the G-chats and all of that are fine for instant messaging with people you do know, you have a relationship with. You have the ability to go, wait, what do you mean by that? Because tone is misinterpreted via those you know, technology advances, which is great, but like you can't actually talk to somebody that you're trying to network with that way if you really don't have a relationship with them.
True.
You need to be able to talk to them face to face, if nothing else, at least on the phone.
Yeah, something. And so
Yeah.
there's got to be that human interaction.
There has to be.
And we're going to have somebody that's going to come on a little later and talk about how to use social media to promote yourself.
Mhm.
And it is a good thing, but everything goes hand in hand. You can't rely 100% on one thing and such. Now, one of the things that you told my friend who was running for office was to get out and go door to door. So that right there tells you, and you talked about that on the radio yesterday, so if you'll share that reason why you tell people to do that, how that influences
Oh, yeah.
the person about the candidate.
Well, okay, if anybody's out there watching or listening who's planning on running for office, no matter what your budget is, no matter what party you affiliate with, I cannot stress enough the face-to-face, door-to-door contact. It's not so easy if you live in rural parts of the country. So let me be clear about that. There's other ways, by the way, you can do that, that face-to-face in rural parts. But let's say that you are in an urban area like Memphis, where you can go into your voter file and identify the voters in which you need to talk to. When you go door to door as a candidate, I'm not gonna get too much into the science and bore you guys, but like it is worth 4 votes, and the reason why it's worth 4 votes as opposed to 1 vote is that, like, I just knocked on your door.
Yeah.
But you have a fairly large family, actually. You've got 3 children, you have grandchild. You know, you would be able to, like, I just talked to you, but would you go back as a candidate? You know, I met so and so candidate today, and you told your husband and your children, who are all of voting age, by the way.
Yes, they are.
That just.
Increase.
How many votes did that just
I'll tell
get?
my parents.
Yeah.
I'll tell my sister.
So on
Goodness, you're right.
on average, you're going to gain 4 votes if the candidate goes door to door. The science of it is if a canvasser or a volunteer goes door to door, it's worth about 1 to 3 votes. And the reason why that is not so much it doesn't have as a huge impact as a candidate is because the candidate really is out there. But the canvasser doing it, the volunteer doing it, is worth more than a phone call or. Yeah.
Phone calls are almost irritating anymore.
And it's hard as a political strategist. They are irritating. Prime voter contact time is, for us, is between 5 and 8 o'clock. Well, that's also prime eating dinner time, you know, and we know that you're home. But getting that phone call is really difficult to maneuver. And secondly, we're getting further and further away from landlines. And your voter registration most likely has a landline on it. You did not go and update it when you got your cell phone. So we're getting so many more disconnects. Once again, that means we got to get out there and knock on doors. You know, if we have a tremendously bad phone match, I don't care. That means we need to double our canvassing efforts, and we need to go out there and make those contacts.
You know, that's amazing, because to me, that translates from a person doing business to somebody where we're here. And for each person you meet here, it's the same thing. They're going to tell 2 or 3, or you said 4 people, oh, I met this person, da, da, da. Is that amazing? You know, have you ever thought about it in those terms, that word of mouth really does travel?
It does. So let's say that you have no desire whatsoever to run as a candidate. How would that translate as, you know, for you personally? I wouldn't really recommend going door to door with
this would be the door to door for businesses.
But how do you translate that? I really can't stress this enough. If you look at, let's use Facebook for instance, I get about 13 to 15 invites a week to different events. You know, what if you don't have a budget and you can't afford? Some of these events are pricey. Go volunteer for them. You know, nobody
Always
thinks
a way
about
to
that.
do it.
I swear, like, I get a lot of people who can't afford my fundraisers, and I tell them, well, if you don't mind working the door or helping me pour wine, or, you know, would you donate some food? Would you donate the drinks? Would you donate the sodas? Would you you know?
I donate door prizes all the time.
We do silent auctions all the time. Would you donate that? You can come for free. I would be happy to have you as a guest. And on top of that, since you did donate something, why don't I mention you when we speak? So not only did you just get in for free, I just mentioned you. So if you can't afford events, always volunteer for them or try to donate something for them. You'll be surprised at like how many things you'll be able to do, and actually how much recognition you'll get for it, as opposed to just paying at the door. So if you don't have a budget, if you don't have a huge, you know, bank account, you don't have a savings, you don't have a trust or anything like that, there's always something going on, and Memphis is ripe for these things. A lot of people put our city down publicly and nationally.
This is really a great city.
It is a fantastic city, and we are constantly having social events. We're constantly, like the Peabody Rooftop series on Thursdays in the summertime. You'd be surprised at what a great networking opportunity that is. Everybody from the city goes there. If you think about it, go to a popular lunch counter. Like for me, I really, really like local in Midtown. I think I probably don't need to pay rent at the office I have because I'm working at local all the time. But I go there a lot because a lot of the political who's who go to Bosco's and local. I'm constantly there And I can't think of one time that I haven't eaten there where I haven't run into somebody who works in city or county government. I love that restaurant. It's delicious. It's locally sourced food, but also I'm always aware of where I am.
Mhm.
And so you got to always think about things like that. It's not always about networking events that say networking event.
Mhm.
Everything's a networking event. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
And I can attest to some of those things that you've said, because for the 50 women who make a difference, I gave color analysis to every single one of them. I was in the program, I was announced at the event, and these are all high power people that now know about me.
Mhm.
And I even started doing what I'm doing with Memphis Woman. A friend of mine said, I've got a friend you've got to meet. She's the editor of Memphis Woman. I sent her an email. I said, I'd love to do a column and you don't have to pay me. Just give me the byline.
Yeah.
And that immediately made me the expert,
Mhm.
because I had this
Right.
column in this magazine, and I didn't have to pay for advertising because I gave her editorial content for free.
There's always a way.
Yeah.
There's always a way. If you are interested in ever getting yourself out there without being able to afford, advertising in a magazine or local magazine, or a big time publication, look at your local publications.
Also, Memphis One was a free publication that was in different places all over town.
Yeah, absolutely. Things that don't really work, I've found, is like putting your business card on like one of those boards.
Bulletin boards.
Yeah, I'll be honest, save yourself some money, don't do that. Don't put your business cards on there. They very rarely get seen, or looked at, or they're so cluttered.
Mhm.
Put that business card in someone's hand.
And another thing that I have found too is whenever you're at an event,
Mhm.
and you probably already do this, but you'd have your business card. Also have your business card where it can be written on.
Mhm.
Okay, these real cute glossy things that you can't write on, or solid black ones, that kills me. A solid black business card that has white
Your
ink
picture is
lettering.
not great either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't exchange information on that. So it needs to be just a simple business card.
Mhm.
And hand them your business card and write on it what you can do for them, and then hand that to them to remind them, oh, hey, that's what was gonna happen.
That works on campaign lit too. Always handwrite, sorry I missed you. Call me. That works as well. Really, really quickly on this. Also, if you are out there with your business cards, and yes, do not put like a big photograph of you. Keep it simple.
Yes, very,
Keep it
very
simple. Keep it, if you are a Democrat, however, running, make sure that that's a union card. I can't stress that enough. You'll actually upset a lot of people. So, but that goes to the point of know your audience too.
Yeah, true.
Know your audience, know who you're talking to. And if you are out there trying to market, let's say that you have a great soap line and you're making soaps out of your home. Don't worry about big overhead things at first. Don't worry about an office space. Don't worry about a storefront. Don't worry about that. Go to your farmers markets. Go to, there's a ton of places like booksellers at Laurelwood now.
Mhm.
They do a lot of local things.
Yes, they do.
So
They do.
don't stress out about your budget of the things you think you need, like a big store or a big office or fancy things. Start simple and give yourself a realistic timeline. 6 months, a year, 3 years, whatever that might be. Give yourself a realistic, don't beat yourself up if 1 month you don't bring in the kind of money that you were planning on bringing in. Make sure that you hit your goal, spend that time reassessing and how can I make up for it?
Mhm.
What can I do differently? I'm constantly like reworking my thought process. Like, okay, I was gonna do X, Y, and Z this month. Well, that didn't really work out. So now I need to know what do I do differently. And also, the last thing I can't stress enough, as a woman, do not and never, ever be afraid to go after your payments. Women are a little shy, timid, it goes back to what I originally said. Make sure if somebody owes you money or that you are worth X amount, you go after X amount. If somebody can only offer you a fraction of that, thank them for their time. See if there's a little, maybe you can't help them to the level that you could, or say no, and it's okay to say no.
Mhm.
Go after what you're worth.
That's a good plan. Well, Liz, thank you so much, and please stick around, because you can see we have a room full of people here
Yeah.
that you can sit and talk to, which will transfer into 4 people each.
Yes, exactly. It is business
So-
over coffee, and I will have a cup of coffee.
There
It'll
is
be very
coffee right
exciting.
over there for
Yeah.
you to have, yes.
Thank you.
So Elizabeth Rincon with Rincon and Associates, thank you so
Of
very
course.
much. And if you'll
Thank you for having
say,
me.
real quick, how people can contact you.
Oh, there's
for-
a couple ways.
Okay,
You can always call me. I am very big in always answering my phone no matter what. My phone number is 901-413-6983, or my website is rinconandassociates.com, or liz@rinconandassociates.com. All right?
there you go.
Thanks.
Thank you so much, Liz.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Okay, we're going to take a little break right now, and we're going to network with people that you don't know, and then we're going to bring up Lily Rubio, who is the person I was just talking about that does social media, video blogs, amazing stuff. So everybody, what is it Sherry says? Talk to someone that you don't know.
Okay,